Welcome to Sentinel Reviews. I'm Scott Davidson. I'm joined by Martin Deblah.
And Penguin.
And Penguin. We've just had our first shot of the Titanfall Beta on the Xbox One. Thought we'd share a few thoughts about it, let you know what we thought. First of all, took ages to download it. It took about 2.5 hours.
Quite a while. Quite a few problems with it, but
yeah,
persevere. It'll get there.
It will. First of all, it is a beta, so there will be issues with it. There will be glitches, there will be technical issues. There's an issue that's been reported with the servers that the Microsoft team are working on at the moment. But it's a beta, you know, deal with it.
That's what you get.
That's what you get. Overall, I thought the game was fantastic. I wasn't really looking forward to it that much,
Yep.
I'll be honest. I'm not a big competitive player, but
From the trailer, I thought it looked visually amazing. I couldn't wait to play it. There wasn't a lot of difference in the beta that you had. You have 2 maps. I'm really looking forward to seeing what else they bring out.
yeah, I'm the same. There was 2 maps and 3 game modes, but we'll get to them. We'll get to them in a bit. The one thing I found about the game when I was playing it, other than going blind for not blinking for 8 minutes, was it was a bit of a sensory overload.
Yeah, it was very fast paced. It was very chaotic, hectic, and you didn't know which way to look quite a lot of the time.
Yeah, because you had obviously the players on foot, you had the bots, and then you had the Titans.
Yeah.
When everyone's firing at once, when you're running down the middle of quite a thin street,
Yeah.
it's just pure chaos.
And people were running up the walls. Literally up the walls.
Up
Because
one
that's
roll,
something they've put in.
yeah, up one wall, jumping to the other, running and jumping again. We did have a few issues with stability. We touched on that earlier. We were playing it. We were playing it at about 3 o'clock in the morning because that's when it eventually downloaded. And we had an issue in a couple of the maps where it wouldn't start. It sort of looked like it was migrating hosts to start with.
It would fail to connect to the server to let everybody play online. But that's just technical issues on day 1 of a beta. So
That's what it comes down to, because everything here, we hope that the good things are going to stay and the bad things are going to be ironed out. It's a beta. This isn't a finished product. This isn't on the shelves.
we will write an email.
We will. I'll definitely write a letter.
Yes.
Yeah. The 2 maps. One was a sort of town-based one. It was quite enclosed.
Cityscape, lots of layers in the game. You had basements, sort of subterranean
Yeah.
kind of sections. You had buildings. You had alleyways.
Rooftops.
There are a few points in the maps you'll get to learn them where the teams do collide, and it's just down to people's preferences. A lot of people like running head-on, Leroy Jenkins. Some people veer left.
Yeah.
Curly Whirly Towns.
I go left.
Yeah.
Leroy here just goes straight in.
Guns blazing.
Yeah. Often with only 2 rounds in the magazine.
Yep.
That aside, the second map it's a bit more open, but like you said, there's a lot more sort of tunnels and sort of sneaky places that you can go through. I think that's more geared towards the Titan side of things rather
It's
than
a lot better with the Titans because you have running space, you have time to react, whereas when you're in a Titan suit in tight confines with lots of other Titans, the game it descends into just chaos. You're almost like you have to not blink, as Scott said. You can't really pay too much attention to everything at once.
It just breaks down into a bar fight.
Yeah, bar fight, people will climb on top of your mech and try and rip you out of it as you're being shot. So you have to choose defend or attack, and preserving obviously your mech. They aren't invincible.
No, that's one thing we mentioned right from the outset. We thought it was fantastic. The Titans, I kind of thought as soon as you get a Titan, it's a win button.
Yeah.
You'll be indestructible. You'll be able to wade through enemy fire, and that's just not true.
Yeah.
It's not even like another Titan has to come and take you down. Like even a couple infantry.
Yeah. You can become swarmed by AI. It's it's something you don't get a lot with mech games.
Yeah.
You tend to have crazy armor, crazy shields, and eventually it'll recharge anyway.
Up the damage.
Yeah.
I like that aspect because just because you get your Titan, it doesn't mean that everyone else is at a disadvantage. You just have to change how you play.
Yeah.
I do like that. You can also, and you've probably seen this in the clips, you'll see it on a clip that I'll hopefully link to this, you can what they call rodeo a Titan, where you jump on its back, you yank off a cover, and then you shoot the pilot in the back of the head. That's amazing. Let's just take a minute and appreciate shooting a pilot in the back of the head.
It's good fun.
It's good.
Yeah.
I quite like the weapons.
I felt that there was a lot lacking in choice, customization, upgradability, but the weapons you had were very fun.
They were. Also, it's worth pointing out that the max level you can get up to in the beta is 14. You unlock weapons as you gain levels, and you can unlock sort of attachments, mods, sights, and things of that nature by completing challenges. You're right, though. There wasn't a huge amount of difference between, for instance, the assault rifle and the SMG.
No, accuracy at range was about the only difference at all. There wasn't any difference in reload speed. There wasn't any sort of mag size kind of fire rate differences, which hopefully they won't probably change at this stage, but they may introduce additional weapons.
I think they probably will, I would have thought.
Yeah.
There is also, it's worth noting, a shotgun and a sniper rifle.
Yes, which I love.
Martin loves a sniper rifle.
It is effective.
I don't. It's a stupid weapon and it has a silly face. I'm not bitter.
Penguin disagrees.
Penguin disagrees. Well, tough. The shotgun, I think I had one run with it.
Yeah, I
done quite well.
I quickly switched off of it. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
A lot of the maps, there's too much distance for it to be any sort of effective. It would only really become a good weapon in very tight confines.
I think it would be better if you could have that as a secondary weapon for, clearing out buildings and things like that.
However, this beta that we've played only has handguns as secondary weapons.
That's true. They do, however, have, and it's a primary weapon for one of the classes, it's the smart pistol.
Yeah.
Now, during the tutorial you learn how to use it, and basically it auto-locks. We thought it would be a win
multiple
button.
people, so it's not just point and shoot and it will hit that one target. You can look in a room and the bullets will go to the people, but you have to take the bit of time to stick your head out and be noticed, which I didn't really appreciate. I very much like clearing a room. I don't like making myself a target. I like windows.
Leroy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I didn't really use it that much, but I found that I got killed by it quite a lot. I noticed on the kill cam.
Yeah.
So I think it will go to a certain type of player.
Yeah.
Maybe someone that's not as sort of
brash.
Yeah. Someone that's maybe not as yeehaw gung ho as we are.
Yeah.
But there we go.
If you cannot do it with a shotgun, grenades, or a rocket launcher, it's not worth doing.
I think you can do anything with a rocket launcher. Just saying. So far, we've not had any customization on the characters, but once
other
again,
than gender specifications.
That's true.
You can be a man or a woman. That's about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you do have different classes. You've got an assassin, an assault trooper, and what they've called a CQD.
CQB.
CQB.
I'm assuming it's close quarter battles because that's the fella that has the shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, when you equip your nice, tasty sniper rifle, he does get a ghillie suit.
That's true. That you do get a ghillie suit. I imagine that'll come in the actual game.
Yeah.
I imagine there will be a sort of limited amount of coverage. Now in the beta, there's only one Titan available. There's meant to be more than this in the actual game. It's I think it's the Atlas.
Yeah, it's the Atlas model of Titan. There will likely be various Titans, ones with more health, ones with better weapons,
a bit faster and
faster, slower.
Yeah.
The standard sort of thing that you would expect in a game of this kind of caliber.
Yeah. So. Now, just exactly the same as you can pick your loadouts with the sort of pilots, they call them, the infantry, you can do the same with the Titans. Titans only get one weapon, really, and they get a shoulder mount type thing.
Yeah. But that's very much a balls to the walls, last ditch effort at taking as much health off of something. You really tend to either be running towards something, firing this, or running away, firing this.
Just as you're about to press that eject button, you want to hit this the shoulder button for the rocket attack.
However, the eject is something that we do enjoy. You do have to hammer down on the button. You don't always get to do it. You might sometimes not realise that you're as hurt as you are, because you don't have as much health as you would expect. So you can just be ripped out the front of your machine by another Titan, or your Titan can explode around you in a hail of fire.
What happens is when you have a sort of overshield, when that goes down, your health will go down. Your health doesn't regenerate, the shield does. When your health hits 0, you basically go into a meltdown stage. And the more damage you take, the quicker this will go down and you'll explode. There is something satisfying about, you don't just tap X, you actually have to press it repeatedly.
Have to hammer it as fast as you can or you don't get out.
Yeah.
It does shoot you 30-40 feet in the air, it's great fun. And one thing that we have found a few different people doing, we didn't think of doing it initially. Some characters...
Not that smart, really.
No,
we like to shoot, but tactically...
Yeah. Some characters have a cloak, very much like Harry Potter. You can go invisible for, say, 30 seconds. It'll run out and recharge, very much like the Titan's massive weapon at the very end. You can shoot this, it'll recharge, but keep it for when you need it. However, if you are ejecting, you can go invisible for 30 seconds, and it allows you to either relocate or jump onto the back of the person who has killed you.
That's my favourite. I love doing that.
Yeah, it's jumping ship and then killing the enemy. It's great fun to do, it's difficult to control, but you can also jump mid-air, which kind of slows down your descent. Makes it a bit more controllable, a bit more timed. Yeah, but be cautious. If you land next to them, they can stamp on you.
Also, I found this out in quite a recent playthrough. If someone calls in a Titan, because you have to wait a certain amount of time, and you can call your Titan in. If you get kills and you do objectives, it reduces the time. If someone calls in a Titan on top of you, even if you're in a Titan...
Now, it's not very easy to do.
No,
it takes a while for them to come down, and you don't have too much accuracy in designating where it will land. However, if you're on the opposite team and you're unfortunate enough to stumble...
like I was.
...into the area they've allocated, which you can't see the opponent's kind of indicator.
You die instantly, regardless of what
if
you're
you have. In a Titan, if you're on foot, if you're remotely close, it will land on you from space.
Yes.
It'll hurt.
Yeah, and instant death.
Yeah.
There's something just wrong about dying from just being hit by something that fell.
Almost as bad as taking yourself out with a grenade.
We don't like to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's actually one thing that takes a little bit of getting used to. There's not really a great deal of depth when you throw grenades.
They will go where you aim, which is great in all sort of circumstances.
When you've been used to Halo and Call of Duty,
every other game that you normally play will have kind of, you can cook the grenade. This, you throw it through, depending on where it lands, who it lands next to, it can go off straight away. Sometimes you'll throw it, think it's clear, run around the corner, and boom. Boom. That's that.
Twice that happened.
Twice. Again, this could be a beta glitch. It might not happen in the real game. We'll just wait. See.
Yeah. Well, all told, I'm now pretty excited about Titanfall.
I'm a fan. It looks good. It's enjoyable.
I was on the fence beforehand, but I think as long as they can pull in the narrative for the campaign, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, looking forward to what they do with it. I think it'll be great online. I'm sure there's going to be a huge number of people get it on release, and it could quite quickly become one of these chains of games where we've seen a lot of games run ahead, releasing new editions, add-on packs, downloadable content. So, yeah. Well,
there we go. So that's our first impressions of the Titanfall beta. There will be game footage coming up of some of our playthroughs.
A few of them, not the bad ones. Yeah. We'll keep those ones to ourselves.
Yeah. That's the blooper reel. Well, stay tuned for more on Titanfall. I've been Scott Davidson. This has been Martin Deblah. That's a penguin.